Palestine, Texas, October 19th, 2021. I chose that Tic Toc video of her not out of disrespect, but it seemed like she was having so much fun. I never understood the point of TikTok, but now I have become a huge fan of TikTok. Sometimes these true crime stories can be a bit much, very sad and overwhelming, like life in general. But TikTok is very entertaining, and it kind of takes your mind off the real world, just for a little while. Her name was Olivia, known on Facebook as Livi Jaay or Livi Jaay. I've heard many people pronounce it different ways. Her Facebook page is a public page, and despite the rude comments under some of her pictures, if you didn't know any better, you would think she was a typical young lady, just living her life and showing bits and pieces of it on social media. I did skim through some of her posts as far back as May 20th, 2021. It looked like she had some small businesses going on. I even read somewhere she styled hair. She sold everything from fingernails to designer face masks to candle making supplies. And she rapped, and she called herself, quote, white girl, unquote. And some of her raps weren't half bad. I mean, really, they sounded like some of the music, of her generation that they listen to now. And I take it she was rapping about situations, about her life, and most definitely involving the guys that were in her life. Now, in hindsight, I can say through these posts that I've read, she was very troubled. She needed someone who wasn't there, but she was set on having it end her way. If that plan fell through, she would have acted on it again. Now, on YouTube, you cannot say the word, so I will say everything but that word. So she pretended to be happy sometimes, and a lot of people going through this, they will tell you sometimes that they do pretend, but honestly, she only knew what she was really going through and struggling with. The people closest to her can't even say that they knew what was going on to that extent. But it's hard when you're on the outside looking in and someone is saying, why didn't someone help her? I mean, who's to say that they didn't? All the information I gathered from basically Olivia's Facebook page, just remember, sometimes when you are in the moment, you write anything. I mean, don't you? And even 2 or 3 years later, when they do those memories and that post comes popping up, you can't even remember what was going on in your life and why you said what you said. On May 22nd, 2021, quote, honestly, my soul been dead. My body just gotta catch up, end quote. People even stated that this was a normal post coming from her Facebook page, or just a post for attention, or was she crying out? We know now she was crying out. On June 21st, 2021, she posted 3 times, quote, the fact that it's fam that's doing this shit and lying is crazy. I would have really cut for your ass, and everyone knew it, end quote. The second post, quote, fuck family. Motherfuckers you grew up with will cross your ass before anyone, end quote. And the third post, quote, been crying all day, man, end quote. Even though I do agree with that second post, who knows what was going on with the people in her life, meaning her family, saying that she wasn't there for her. I mean, this was all based on social media posts. So again, who really knows? It's a Facebook page. People write their feelings at the moment. On July 5th, 2021, she posted, quote, "I'm probably the loneliest motherfucker," end quote. Of course, being she was just gorgeous, there are several guys underneath the comment section responding to her claims of loneliness. But we all know we could be in a room filled with a million people, and if that's the way you feel, that's the way you feel. On July 7th, 2021, quote, "Stop watching who the fuck I interact with. I'm grown," end quote. Perhaps she was referring to what her mother would later call a fatal attraction between her and her children's father. There are two separate posts on July 8th, 2021. Quote, "Life is coming together really nicely," end quote. Then she would post, quote, "Supposed to be my peace, yet you broke my heart in pieces," end quote. Within that week, she would post adorable pictures of her nieces and how she wanted to get another tattoo and loving pictures with her oldest son. I mean, it was a pretty normal day, and it seems like things were okay for her. Some of her other posts are very funny. She seemed very entertaining, but through my personal experiences, I know sometimes it's just within you. For instance, years ago, at my mother's funeral, my friends showed up to comfort me. And even though that was the worst day of my life, my mother died, I would be the one making jokes before the funeral started, making my friends laugh. But afterwards, I did fall into a depression that lasted for almost 2 years. I didn't even know I had been depressed until I came out of it. So sometimes people are very good with hiding their emotions, even a little bit. As I looked at the comments on her page, there was a screenshot, I believe, that was posted by her mother. It would shine a light on what type of relationship that Olivia was in with her children's father. I will just read a few points of this post. She refers to her daughter's children's father as a donor and says that her daughter had no control over him. She says that she had tried to get away from him and he just constantly harasses her. And he does not take care of the children despite what he tries to display for social media that they wanted to, or they were thinking about filing charges, but he hadn't did anything yet to her physically, so they could not file charges. He was, I guess, mentally and emotionally bothering her. She called him a bum, but she said he was harmless. And he was just content on making her life a living hell. And she actually said that, he wouldn't bust a grape. So that's pretty much how she feels about, the father of the children. So it was good to know that, because in other videos I watched, they said that the reason why she did what she did is because the man in her life didn't want her. So that I see was people pretty much jumping to conclusions, because it didn't seem like that was the circumstance. On August 30th, 2021, she posted, quote, "I high-key want a daughter," end quote. Now I have to comment on this post because a lot of people think that she did what she did because of her struggles with the children and the fact that she had no alone time, but yet she was thinking about adding on one more, again, based on this post. The kids didn't put her in this bind that she was in, even though she just needed some time away from them, a day, a few hours. The children did not do this. This post says that she wanted a daughter too. I believe she truly loved the children that she was taking care of. Again, she spoke about her businesses, how she wanted her hair done, and she even stated that she was doing everything for her children. So this post was a very positive post, and she even took a picture with both of her sons. Now, I know in several other posts I read, she spoke about how she just wanted time and that she was stressed and that raising children on her own was stressful and it had become overwhelming. These are words I'm using, but I'm pretty much paraphrasing, but that's pretty much what she was saying. As I read the post, it put me in the mind of Stanley Allen Holbrook. This was another young woman who was really struggling with herself. She was 26 years old, had 3 young children, and appeared to be single and doing it by herself, even though her mother would help as much as she could. She would end things drastic and left the children behind. Now, due to HIPAA laws, they couldn't state if she really tried to seek treatment at a facility for a mental health prior, but it's believed that she did. Some of her postings were very similar to Olivia's. And again, this was another extremely sad story. It really was. Now, I don't know if she was clinically diagnosed. I'm assuming that she was, but she was grappling with something, and it seemed to be a daily issue, that was pretty much beginning to control her life. On October 7th, 2021, she posted twice, quote, slowly losing my mind, mentally at my lowest, end quote. And these 2 posts that she posted on Facebook, they're heartbreaking because who knows what she was really mentally going through that day. On October 12th, 2021, she posted a picture of her eldest son's first day of school. And if you're a mother, this is a very proud and sad moment at the same time because they're about to start learning and making friends. And it's also sad because they're growing up and they're leaving the home. And again, I can see it. I don't know if you can, but I can tell that she really loved her children. On October 13th, 2021, quote, having to do this parenthood alone has made me a lot stronger and shows me that I am capable of doing anything. But at the same time, I want to breathe. I want to be able to go to the restroom, at least without little kids following my ass. I want to be able to sleep in because I don't have to get up just because kids are up. I want a break. I am comfortable enough to say that now and not give a fuck that no one says because I am human, end quote. And again, on October 30th, 2021, she posted a picture of her son's second day of school. Even though she slightly ranted earlier, you're a mother. You got to get up, get the kids together, feed them, get them ready for school. And that's what she did. Now, I don't know when on the 13th she received a stupid post of someone texting like they were some type of social service person. Is that really what the social service people do now? They text? I doubt it. People are actually saying that this is why she did what she did because of this text. I absolutely don't think that that's why she did that. I think whoever sent this post to her had a little bit too much time on their hands. On October 19th, 2021, quote, please don't, end quote. She actually tagged a September 16th, 2021 post that she had written herself. It said, quote, if anything ever happens to me, do not give my kids to their dad permanently, because if while I was alive, you couldn't help me take care of them, why wait till I'm gone, end quote. And later on, that same day, on October 19th, 2021, she would post, quote, checking out, I'm sorry, but I can't keep battling depression. To the ones that were really there, I love y'all. If I do succeed at this, please make sure my kids are okay, end quote. And that would be Olivia's final post on Facebook. This would be the day she decided to put into actions what she had been thinking about for weeks, months, maybe even years. People have battled depression for years. According to the reports, it happened after 9:17 p.m. on October 19th. She was in her 2017 Nissan Sentra heading south at the same time. Travis Hickman, 33-year-old man, was coming north in his 2012 Ford pickup. But she had to do it. She did it with speed, she did it with force, and she would pass on impact. The Nissan would cross the center line, and that would end up happening. Pittman was immediately taken to the hospital with injuries. To my knowledge, he did, survive the crash. On his Facebook page, he's a married man with a child that I see. And I know he wasn't expecting this, because a year exactly to the date that he posted that picture, he said, quote, "Life is great," end quotes. And wow, look what happened a year later. I mean, it's so scary how someone's mental health issues can affect an entire family who never even knew them. I looked at the comments. People said Olivia was selfish for how she went about this and selfish for leaving her children. My answer to that is, you may need to know a lot more about depression before you can say this. People with severe depressions will go to the extremes. I don't even think that they're thinking clearly. They're only trying to see a way out. Commenters were saying that her children's father needs to be held accountable for this. What he did or what he was doing to her led her to do this, and I personally don't believe that. Depression is a lot more than an unruly boyfriend, and in his case, or like the mother said, he was just a bum. But more than most definitely, I do believe that he did add to her frustrations. Yes, he did. What she was battling with mentally and him not being any kind of help and mainly just harassing her, yeah, he most definitely added to it. There are wives with husbands with no children or grown children, and they are very financially stable. But if they have severe depression, they may find a drastic way to do things as well. A lot of people are assuming that she had no family or no family would help her. And I read she did have a sister who she fought with, but a sister who she loved as well. She had a father that became heartbroken after her death. It seemed Olivia wanted to come visit him, and he turned down the visit. Now that's all people said. Oh, he turned down the visit. But he turned down the visit because he said he wanted to wait until payday. He said he was embarrassed that he didn't have any money. I guess he wanted to give her some money, but in his own words, he didn't realize that she just wanted to come and see him. So that's going to probably stick with him forever, because, I don't know, that might have been the last time he seen her, and now he can't. So, in short, there are many forms of depression, just saying. I mean, depression can be triggered by certain events that happen in your life. If you have been physically, sexually, or emotionally abused, it can be triggered. Major events in your life, like death of a people, like I mentioned, my mom, death of a pet, anybody close to you passing away can trigger depression. It can happen even from drugs and alcohol vices. I mean, some people think that it's a coping mechanism, and it's not. It's really not. Some people who can drink to excess, take drugs to excess, they're not happy. They're not happy at all. Even certain medicines that you take can cause depression. It'll even say it. If you start to feel depressed, contact your physician immediately. It can be inherited even through your own family. Now, they haven't detected a gene that it can be passed on like that, but meaning if you watch and you see somebody going through this, you may actually repeated. They did say it's a high percentage that it does run through the families. I can't really say everything about depression in this shorter video, but there's many, many, many different ways. If someone you know is going through this, you try to help them seek treatment like immediately. Let them know that the dark days won't last and that there are brighter days. Give them things to look forward to, but most definitely they need to have professional treatment because sometimes they may have to be prescribed medicines. It may be a chemical imbalance. This is why they need these medicines. Sometimes telling people, oh, things are going to get better. We're going to do this and we're going to go there, and popping up with little gifts and stuff like that just to make them smile. That's not going to do anything for them if it is a chemical imbalance. So yeah, they do need professional help. And a little off topic, just a little bit, I do believe since COVID-19 has been here for a few years now, that had made us all depressed at one point and all emotional. Trust and believe it has. If you've been living in this world the past 3 years and you've been working and you've been getting up and you've been trying to do things and make things work, everybody has felt it a little bit. When it first started out and we were all mandated in the house and we couldn't really do nothing, it was hard. It was stressful. It was emotional. It really was. Now, I, like many others, were wondering, who had the kids? What happened to the kids? And it's believed that her mom is taking care of the kids. I actually did see a post on the Facebook page, and the mother did say that she had the kids and that they were safe. So that's good to know. But it is very horrible that, this had happened. These kids don't even have their mother now in their life. Olivia, she was a pretty girl, 21 years old, just really seeing what life was really about. And unfortunately, this depression would just take her away. And my condolences to the family.
Don't do shit like this just because it's not me. But at this point, fuck it. Playing these niggas like an Uno. Yeah, he skipped. I got your nigga on my line. Yeah, he whipped. He say he love me. I ain't never said he back. Heart frozen. Call me Miss Ice Pack. Big pressure. Got these hoes all mad. Talking on the book like you gon' whoop my ass. Half white, but don't play me like I'm Karen. Cause try me on some funny shit, then I'm my bare hands. Deep in my bag, got my baby daddies mad. They see me happy, quick to try to make me sad. Just get your son, I ain't talking finna dip. At it alone, you just walked in talking shit. Won't hold my tongue cause I can back up what I speak. Like I said, big pressure, let's meet. You sitting in you bitch's face, but y'all all cat. Wait till I walk up to say, who the fuck was that?